Alright, what's up, people? I got a new a story time video, and this is called A YouTuber Tried to Steal My Car. Now, this is not clickbait, it actually happened. A lot of story times didn't actually happen because they're like cheesy, but this actually happened. Like, it's reality, like someone's gonna try to steal your car or buy your car. Now, the not clickbait part is that it wasn't my car. It wasn't fully my car, it was a family car. I drove it sometimes in the parking lot to practice, but it wasn't my car. Like, we all shared it. So yeah, having said that, the car is a truck. It's a huge, massive truck. It's an F-150. It's jet black. It looks good, man. And when we got it, my family didn't want a car that big. I'm the one that convinced them, because I said, "What kind of car are we looking for?" And we wanted like a small truck or a small car. No, I said like a big fucking truck. Like awesome, like an awesome car. And I kept saying it, so I think I convinced them. And when we got the truck, we got a turbo engine, we got $1,000 exhaust, we got rims. Like, we really went good with it. And this is a blessing, because as peasants, like, we never thought we could afford this, but we could. So what was I gonna say? Um, People actually were looking at it and talking about it, because when we first got it, we went to work at a warehouse, and this Mexican worker said like, "Hey, your car is beautiful." I said like, "Yeah, like it's a beaut, it's a beaut." And how would they say it in the South? Like, it's purty. So yeah, where we were working at, there was this guy we met. It was my cousin's friend, and honestly, like, he looked kind of shady. He looked like a goblin, but I can't judge. Like, that's just how they look like. Maybe that's not them on the inside. Like, maybe it doesn't reflect what's on the inside, even though like it does hurt my eyes. So what does it say here? I think I do remember this guy had a bad car, maybe not as good as ours. So what do I call him? Like, I was just thinking of like no name. I don't even remember his name, but I'm gonna say like Joey. So my cousin straight up told me when he was working with them, like, yeah, he has a YouTube channel. And I said, "Oh, for real?" Because I was always interested in YouTube. Now, when I was with YouTube, I always said I loved it, but I only really fell in love with it when I saw vlogs. And he said like, "Oh, he has a YouTube channel." And I was like, "Oh, really? Like, I want to watch his vlogs." And he said, "No, he does product reviews." So I said like, "Okay." And yeah, and my cousin said like he has 3K subscribers on YouTube. And I was like, "Okay." So I searched up his name. He's actually on YouTube. He's still on YouTube now. He has 3K subscribers, maybe less now, like 2K. And his videos have like 500 to 800 views. And honestly, like, he was pretty boring. Like, I couldn't even watch 1 minute of it. He's just like there, like at his little desk, and he does like little electronic reviews. So he's like, "Oh, what is this?" And he didn't look like his heart was in it. So I was like, "Yeah, whatever, man. Like, this guy is just so whatever." And so when I met him, he looked fiendish, and I said like, "Hey, how'd you get your YouTube channel up and running and everything?" And he said like, "Yeah, man. Like, you just edit and you reach out to companies." And believe it or not, they actually reach out to you. I said like, "Yeah, it's common sense." Like, I didn't take it too deep. Like, not like that, but like, it's just like whatever knowledge you can learn. And what was it saying? So he'd come to the house like once or twice, and I think he was comfortable with how this house was, like how we were. Like, we were nice, and the house was pretty open. So my cousin's at work. Like, he works a lot. Like, I don't know what is it about us, but we work a lot. I guess because we're like Mexican or something. And he came one day to borrow the car keys, to borrow the truck keys. So he just came in straight through the front door and stole the keys. And my family was chilling right here in the room, like in the living room. And he goes fast, man. Like, LA people like are skittish, like nasty, so they go like the wind. And like, all stupid. And so we immediately like grab him, reach out to him. Like, we don't grab him, but we said like, "Hey, where you going?" And he said like, "Oh, he was almost at the front door, but we stopped him." And he had to stop. He had an obligation to stop, because if he just runs out the front door without doing negotiations, then it's thievery, man. He could land in serious trouble, man. Like, hey, this guy stole the car keys, we didn't give him permission, and he's gonna be screwed. So even though he was already gone, we caught him at the last second. Like, you can't ignore at the last second. Maybe if he was outside the fence, maybe, but he was still in our property. So my whole family went outside, like we all ganged up on him and said like, not like that, but we were like, hey, where you going? Like, just straight up, like, where you going? Where you taking the keys? And we almost made a scene. Like a lot of, it was almost a scene. Like a lot of people started coming out of the houses, and we were just here in the front entrance of the house. And he bullshitted us. He said like, oh, yeah, he gave me permission. My cousin gave me permission to borrow the truck. Like I just need it for an errand. Like I'll be back real quick. You know, like just a bunch of excuses. And we said no. Like give us back the keys. Uh, he didn't tell us anything. So we'll give it to you once he comes back. Then we can make like a proper deal. And he just looked around like he was defeated. Like he just looked at the floor, and he gave back the keys, and he just stood there like like we crushed him. Like he was thinking of stealing the truck. I'm not bullshitting you. You might be like, was he really trying to steal it? Yes. Remember, this is a fake YouTuber. He's toxic. He had a crappy little car truck. Of course he wants ours. And so for a good like a minute there, he was just like staring at the ground like he was totally crushed. We defeated him. And he left, and I don't think we ever talked to him again. So yeah, pretty much we told him off. And I remember that's what we said. And what does it say here? He says he left. Yeah, he did leave. What was he trying to do by taking this truck? By taking the truck keys, taking this truck and leaving? He was thinking of stealing it. He was thinking of pawning it. Dude, if he pawned that truck, he'd get like easy like $10,000. Maybe steal the rims or the exhaust. Maybe like lose it, somehow lose it. Maybe crash it, like in revenge or anger or jealousy. But and maybe if he did bring it back, like stupidly, he would say like there would be like a bump on it and be like, oh my bad, you know, just like screw you, like an attack. But what I really think he was trying to do, besides the stealing, is that he was gonna go. They always talked about Canyon Drive, which is a drive over there, like in the mountains of Los Angeles, where it's like scenic and romantic. So he was gonna go to Canyon Drive, and he was gonna go impress a girl. Like I noticed that a lot of guys steal cars to impress girls, like whatever they don't have. So this guy was gonna get a fake bitch from Los Angeles. He'd be like, "Oh, I have a YouTube channel. Yeah, man. Like, I work 80 hours a week. Like, little Joey was out there to impress. Like, the same as me. Like, not me. Like, I'm not whack, but like, do the same little fiendish tactics to get a girl." He'd be like, "Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. You remember the Taco Bell thing? Like, yeah, I own Taco Bells." He's gonna be like, "Yeah, that's my truck. I got like 3K subscribers." Yeah, and the fake girl would be like, "Oh, really?" And would probably put out right there and there for him in Canyon Drive. So that's what I was thinking he was gonna do, but most likely steal. And we told him off. We crushed him. And in the end, my cousin said like he was just so whatever. But I know like we never talked to him again. Like we never were his friend again, and we never talked to him again. So yeah, this is an interesting story. Even before I was in YouTube, I had YouTube drama. Believe it or not. So maybe I was destined to do YouTube. I don't know how it's going right now, but maybe I was destined for it.